Hey everyone, hope you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of commodities, work our way through the dollar, yields, precious metals, and commodities ETFs that I follow. I'll interject my financial opinions as I go through it. If you need help with anything, check out finding-value.com. That's where I dive deeper into all these topics and subjects, looking for potential investment opportunities and sharing those opportunities with everyone in the community. We have a special going on. Special is the coupon code, so type in special and you get a discount on the monthly and yearly memberships, a larger one on the yearly, and a 50% discount only the first month on the monthly membership to try it out. So let's dive in, take a look, see what is going on today. Weaker dollar here. Now, this is a bullish setup from here over. I made some comments last time about watching for the dollar to weaken when they hold down interest rates at roughly 4.5% on the 10-year. I said, watch the dollar potentially decline. I think they're in there messing with the market, in the bond market particularly. They're going to print dollars, which is going to put pressure, downside pressure on the dollar, and they're going to hold interest rates down at a certain level here. And I think that certain level is now. So we're going to see a blow off pressure in the dollar. Now, I'm not saying that we blow it to the downside. We could, but the pressure is going to mount in the weakening of the dollar, and that's going to push a lot of commodities on up. And they're holding the interest rate below 4.5%, and that's when Vicent and some of these other guys come out and they'll say, hey, we're going to hold it in this general area. So when we look at yields, the 2-year yield is flat. So that is still holding underneath resistance here. And we'll have to see if they can hold this thing down. It's going to take copious amounts of money to hold down interest rates. I mean a buttload. And then the pressure is going to get transferred to the dollar. And we'll see if that plays out that way. The 10-year yield, it was going up. Now, this is what makes me think that they are in there doing something. We have this large bearish engulfing pattern, and we're still trying to fight our way back up. You can see, this wick at the top, another wick at the top. It's almost like someone's in there trying to hold this thing down. Naturally, if you have this imbalance between buyers and sellers here, it naturally wants to fall. But we're not naturally seeing anything like that. We're almost seeing like someone is holding this thing below the 4.5% level. Hit it, comes back down. Hit it, comes back down. Hit it. And this thing, you can see the lows are coming up into it as well. So we'll see if they can hold it down and what they can do. I don't know if they can. The market may be bigger than they are, and it may steamroll them. I don't know. If it doesn't, and they create a bunch of money and they try to hold it here and we go sideways, you're going to see the pressure get relieved in the dollar. The 30-year yield also being, it was up 1.28%, but you're seeing all these big wicks at the top here where there's selling pressure at that 5-ish% level. TLT is down 0.72% on bonds, and this is what they're trying to hold. They're trying to hold the bond price up and hold yields down is what they're trying to do. And at least that's what they've come out publicly and said. But this still looks like garbage. It still looks like it wants to go lower. The 2 and the 10, we saw a downward move. Now, this is a bullish formation. We're sitting on top of support. So we'll have to see what happens here, if they're going to try to push it lower or how this actually impacts the yield curve. Because if they're in there messing with the yield curve, it's going to impact this as well, because this is the relationship between the 2 and the 10. TYX, TNX ratio is up. That's tailwinds behind gold. And if we get the uninversion of the yield curve and this comes back up, gold and silver do very well under those conditions. Gold's up $64 an ounce. Looks pretty good today. We don't have a ton of selling pressure. We don't have a ton of large red candlesticks, a lot of selling pressure. We still have the big greens showing up all over the place. So this still looks good to me. It looks like it's a consolidation. moving sideways where we could still work our way on up eventually. We've got silver up 2.4%. This looks really good. We're starting to break above some of the highs here, and hopefully we can get some follow through here and continue higher. So silver's looking pretty strong. We've got platinum. Platinum shredding it here. Shredding it. 1060 on platinum. Here we are starting to break out of this pattern. We very well could activate a much larger run in platinum. That all critical area is where we have a lot of resistance. That resistance is at the 1050 level, and we are clearing that today. Now we need to hold above it and stay up there. So that's what we'll watch next, is to see if we can hold above the 1050-ish level. Palladium up 4.45. That's also got the upward arrow. It's not a great upward arrow that I drew there, but that's also breaking to the upside. We broke through this downtrend, and now we are starting to move higher. And I also think that this is a potential double bottom where we'll come on up to this line up here and see if we can break through that eventually at 1250. XAU to gold ratio. Gold and silver mining companies outperforming gold itself, and gold had a pretty good day. So the miners had a pretty good day. This is still at no man. This is so cheap, it's ridiculous. The gold and silver mining companies divided by gold have a huge runway. It is incredibly cheap. It's probably an opportunity of a lifetime. It really is. We've got GDX up 3.11, looking good. We want to break out of this little flag pattern that we have developing here. We've got GDXJ also working up 3.37, looking good. I've got the arrow in my expectations over the past, few days, weeks. And then SILJ up 4%, and that's up against resistance. When we break through this resistance, this arrow is going to continue to say higher. Another thing that you can gauge is you can see kind of where we're coming back. We have a nice little kind of false breakdowns as we try to break through that resistance level that we're just underneath. Crude oil is up 0.32%. To me, it looks like we are still putting in a potential inverted shoulder, head, shoulder. We might get one last move down before heading higher to this general area somewhere in that box. That's a possibility. So let's see if that occurs. This is a kind of a flaggish type pattern. It's not a very big one. So I don't think it's going to move down very much, depending on the flag that we get here. If it decides to come back down to 60 or upper 50s or whatever it is, somewhere in that range is a possibility. We've got TTF gas up 5.3%, looking pretty strong today. I've got the upward arrow, the falling wedge. That looks good to go higher. We've got natural gas in America with a reversal candlestick today, a very big one, up 9.3%, and that looks good to go higher. Now you could get a small selling pressure candlestick tomorrow, a little down candlestick next to it. It could even be it could even be 4 or 5% even. But my view wouldn't change even if we got that. So I'm going to leave this down candlestick here, the red guy. XOP, yeah, you know me. Again, we don't have a lot of selling pressure here. This looks good to go higher. And we might fill that gap. That is a possibility, but still looks good. OIH, small selling pressure. It's not big selling pressure. Still looks good to go higher. We're sitting on top of support. Newcastle coal futures looking good, up 2.5%. I've got the arrow going up. Things are looking pretty good in all these commodities. Looking pretty solid. We could see a move on higher here for Newcastle coal. It looks kind of like a potential shoulder, head, shoulder. And you can also, move these like that too, but shoulder, head, shoulder, potential, shoulder, ahead, and then maybe we scribe out a shoulder maybe. Sprott Physical Uranium Trust down 2.23%. I don't have the up candlestick here. I said we could potentially consolidate or move a little bit lower here, and that's what happened. It's still some selling pressure behind it, so there could still be a little bit more follow through on it. We do have some support in the rough area that we're at. UX1 is down slightly, but it's nothing to worry about. I'm still leaving the upward candlestick. Maybe we have just a little consolidation that we've been going through sideways here. URA, the equities are going higher, which is a good sign. We want to see accumulation, and this is a downward facing pattern, which very well could break higher. URNM also up 0.66 right at support, and then URNJ also at support, roughly speaking. Nickel down 0.87%. This one's still consolidating in here. We could easily do a potential double bottom. You come on up and do something like that before heading higher. So it's still trying to put in the bottom, I think. Copper still squeezing inside of its pattern here. It looks like it's trying to break higher, so we'll see if we get follow through to the upside here. COPX tracking sideways. No bearish candlesticks in here. They look good to continue on higher with time if we can get a break out of here. It looks like it's still trying to work its way on up. Lithium moving sideways, still looks bullish in my opinion. We filled in this gap here. And then we've come in kind of a small selling pressure move, which is a downward facing flag pattern, which is bullish. We've got REMX down slightly, and I'm going to leave that arrow up there, even though we gapped down the day before. I think we'll consolidate and work our way on up. This was your reversal candlestick, and I don't see reversal candlesticks. I don't see the big red candlesticks all through here, so I'm going to remain bullish. Iron ore still squeezing, looking good. I like how this is putting in these upward facing flag patterns, downward facing, I should say, flag patterns. But that's still squeezing, looks good for a potential break to the upside. We've got aluminum up 1.47%. Now, I've got a downward candlestick here. This very well could work its way on up. Everything else in the sector, like copper, doesn't look bad. Iron ore looks like it's squeezing up. This could very well follow all the other base metals. But the pattern here still looks bearish, looking at only aluminum's chart. The other patterns or other charts do look bullish. Baltic Dry Index down slightly, and we're still inside this pattern here. I just drew that real quick of a potential flag, or it's a flag pattern, I guess, or pennant formation, falling wedge, whatever you want to call it. Doesn't really matter, but it's still squeezing on that. We've got emerging markets down slightly, but still looks good to go higher as we're sitting on top of a bunch of support. And if the dollar starts to drop, it's really going to move, I think. We've got MU up 0.25, and that's sitting on top of support now, and that looks good to go higher. We've got KRE down slightly. It's in support. We've been falling with very small candlesticks, so this very well could go higher. XHB also down a little bit, still above support. We're sitting on top of support, flagging out, which looks like we could potentially go higher. Russell 2000 flagging, could go higher. That would be my opinion there. Yep, the arrow is correct in my opinion. Now, we could even do a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder, and I would still be bullish that entire time. It's a possibility. SPX down slightly, still looks bullish though. Still looks bullish. No reversal candlesticks, nothing like that. NASDAQ just trading sideways, still looks bullish to go higher. Still in that camp at the moment. No reversal candlestick yet. SMCI down 4.5%. I'm still gonna, this looks a little bit bearish in the short term. It's a bearish engulfing candlestick. I'm just gonna draw maybe like a flag pattern or something like that, where we could do something like that. NVIDIA still looks bullish to go higher. It's just flagging out, no reversal candlestick there or anything. Bitcoin's up 1.2, and this is where we could see a big move here. We're getting towards the resistance area, and if once you break through the resistance, you can get a big up candlestick, a breakout candlestick. And then Ethereum's down slightly. It's still inside this pattern that I've drawn in there, but it still looks bullish in its formation. MicroStrategy, it's still going higher, looks good, and we're in a kind of a flag pattern. So it's still a bullish formation. It's just flagging out at the moment. And then the VIX is down slightly, and the VIX is under control at the moment. The plunge protection team's got it all under control. Don't worry. But that's what I've got for today, guys. So give me a thumb up for the content. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the website. Use the special coupon code if you'd like. I will be doing a midweek update, releasing it for tomorrow. So look for that. if you're part of the community on the website there. But that's what I've got for today, guys. We'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.